Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I don't normally do this, but we're going to do some housekeeping here at the beginning. I'm going to do two things I normally don't do. Normally I don't talk about GoFundMe or fundraiser type things, but I wanted to show you this one because this man and his family deserve it. Michael Branch, for those of you that don't know, as far back as I can remember since I got into this, Michael Branch, not some days, but every day, I go to Twitter, look at my messages, and Michael Branch is sending crypto news. I'm talking about every day, and I think he gets up, he must be ex-military because he gets up early every day. By 5 or 5:30, he's usually sending out crypto news, and it's in my feed, and I see it just about every day, pretty much every day. It's been that way. But here's the other thing about Michael Branch. This guy never gets into the crypto drama. He just shows the news and looks for interesting things in the news. We need more people like Michael Branch, and so he has some issues in his family, and I wanted to make you aware of it. I contributed to this. I'm not telling you to. I'm just telling you I did, and I'm showing you where it is if you wanted to. My youngest is battling breast cancer. Her name is Kamoshi. She has she's had to quit working due to the cancer. She has a 1-year-old. Anything, even $1 would help. Thank you, her dad, Michael Branch. Fundraiser by Annette Hughes. Her battle with the C. And then here's their fundraiser right here. You can go to GoFundMe. I'll put a link to this in the top of the description of this video if you want an easy link to get to it. And then they've got a $20,000 goal. Let me hit the old refresh button. They're at 12,403. So I'm glad to see that they're already making some good progress towards the goal. And I did contribute myself in full disclosure. Okay, want to show you this too. This is another thing I never do, but this one is ridiculous and I want to do it. For those of you that don't know, my handle on Twitter is @digitalassetbuy, the word B-U-Y, okay? This person is impersonating me. They've created a handle on Twitter @digitalassetbie. I would not even fool with this if I did. The cool guy brought this to my attention. This person who is lying and pretending to be me has got 32,000 followers. And there's no telling what kind of lies that they are perpetuating in my name. And so please go report them. I've reported them. This person does not deserve to have a presence on Twitter, okay? Anyway, enough of that. Now, this clip, we were talking about Michael. Riz XRP is another person on Twitter. You should go give him a follow @Riz XRP. This guy also puts out the news, no drama. He just puts out great clips and news every single day, okay? He went, and this is an older clip, but this is Jim Rickards. This is worth showing anytime you happen upon it, and today I happened upon it. Watch this.
Actually, you can't do it with Bitcoin. You pay $50 for a $2 cup of coffee, a $50 transaction fee.
You don't know what it's going to cost you in 10 minutes.
That's exactly right.
There are some cryptos that are working with regulators and are working with banks.
I agree.
Ripple would be an example.
Ripple would be an example, right.
Now this is and I can imagine in the next 5 years, instead of us doing sterling against the dollar or sterling against the yen and doing these kinds of transactions.
Now watch Jim Rickards, who is ex-CIA, I think ex, I don't know. I'm not supposed to say 3-letter agencies on this channel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, 3-letter agency.
We'll do sterling versus Ripple. And the reason being, dollar right now is a 2-day settlement. With something like Ripple, you could do settlement in seconds. And I think that there's a future there where the guy that's trading spot FX today will be trading spot FX against Ripple in the future, in the next 2 or 3 years. So I think that Ripple has a great future because it's right now supported by all the banks and by all the regulators.
And it has an elastic monetary base, right?
So if we take that and you go to the blockchain ledger, if you take that concept that you're discussing, I have no problem with it. I agree with it. But you're talking about money. You're talking about transaction, medium of exchange. There has to be something behind it, and that's where I'm going to pull this conversation back to gold.
See, these are the adults in the room, folks. Listen to what they're saying.
There has to be some sort of reserve asset. The problem with fiat currencies right now is that they can print as much as they want, digitally or whatever. They just it's not tied to anything, and so as a result, the value of the money can be negated.
Folks, where this is going is CBDC, things built on the XRP ledger, real assets, digital assets created on the XRP ledger that are backed by real assets such as gold. That's what they're talking about here. The question is this right here, because when I saw this, I happened to find this Peter Schiff video of him at the London blockchain conference, and I found a couple of clips. He's talking about gold 2.0. Now, and I point out that Glint is doing in the second clip I'm going to show you. Glint's already doing what he's doing, and I'll get to that in a minute, or what he's describing. But they're not doing it on the blockchain. I'm hoping that Glint moves in that direction and incorporates crypto into what they're doing. But I want you to watch this.
Gold, when you combine it with blockchain, that is gold 2.0. Because all of the qualities that the proponents of Bitcoin attributed to Bitcoin, you actually have with gold when you have it as a medium of exchange. But today with blockchain, it's so much easier for somebody who accepts payment in a digital currency backed by gold to authenticate the legitimacy of that digital currency. So everything that worked with a paper monetary system before we had the internet, before we had blockchain, will work even better now. So instead of the crypto community trying to reinvent the wheel and trying to say that Bitcoin is gold, when Bitcoin doesn't have any of the properties that made gold desirable as money, Bitcoin was able to counterfeit some of the properties that made gold better money than other commodities, whether it's the divisibility, the fungibility, the portability, but none of those attributes would have mattered but for the intrinsic value of the metal itself. But with blockchain, gold is even more marketable today than it's ever been. And so that's where all of the effort should be. How do we use blockchain to reintroduce gold? Because the reason that the governments got us away from gold is because government fiat currency was more efficient to use.
There we go. And then here's a second clip. And I made Peter Schiff aware here that this is already being done by Glint. And part of my goal, there's one goal is about to be achieved, is Glint private equity going on to the Link2 platform. That's happening this month, for those of you that don't know. Glint private equity will be on the Link2 platform, but my other goal, and I'm literally going to talk to the CEO of Glint, I have talked to him about this, is incorporating crypto onto the Glint, into the Glint product as well, preferably creating some kind of marriage between Glint and the XRP ledger. So listen to what he says here. This is what Glint's already doing.
They say, well, you can't buy gold with coffee with gold, right? What do people would say? You're going to take your bar of gold and you're going to, shave off a little bit of gold. Well, even when we were on a gold standard, you didn't use gold to buy coffee. You used another metal. You used copper, right? And, we used pennies because you couldn't take gold and use it to buy something as inexpensive as a cup of coffee. But today you can. That is the beauty of a monetary system, on a blockchain, is I can take a tiny piece of gold and use it to buy a cup of coffee. And that transaction can be effected at a fraction of the cost of transferring Bitcoin and in a reliable manner. Because if I am a barista and I want to sell my coffee, I can price it in gold. Doesn't matter what the price is in dollars or pounds or euros. And in fact, in a global economy, and the world is probably more globalized now because it's easier for people all around the world to transact with one another, why aren't we transacting in one common form of money? And that common money can be gold. Everybody can know what the price of gold is. And so merchants, who are selling online can price their products in gold, in grams of gold, in fractions of a gram of gold. So everybody looks at the exact same price, and everybody can affect these transactions to a tiny amount because the blockchain can keep track. You could take 1 ounce of gold and you could break it up into 100,000 tiny little pieces. And you could spend the...
Now that's what makes sense. Why own Bitcoin if you can do that? By the way, until the 14th of July, which is coming up, you've got a Glint referral code. Links in the top of the description, DAIV50. Get 50% off vaulting and insurance fees for the next 12 months. Speaking of vaulting, look what Uphold, who I do own their private equity. I'm planning on buying more of it. Uphold, look at this, coming soon. Uphold Vault is a state-of-the-art assisted custody solution built to keep your assets secure and protect against private key loss. With Vault, Uphold implements a multi-sig framework in which Uphold holds one key and you hold the remaining two. This is a game changer, folks. The two keys are required to conduct a transaction, allowing you to operate independently even if the Uphold system is unavailable. Upon launch, early access will be granted to XRP holders. With support for other networks and tokens in the future, the fluidity of centralized services meets decentralized security. Digital asset investor will plan on being there. Whalewire just in, 4 top executives at Coinbase, including CEO Brian Armstrong, have dumped massive amounts of shares in Coin. That's the Coinbase stock. This week, Brian made his largest ever sale of stock, amount to over $5.8 million. Now, Houston, we have a problem. This is the consensus redesign of their website. Joe Lubin wanted to revamp his persona, I guess, and his company. Wonder why. Now, look at their products right here. Consensus staking, okay? Right on the home page, folks. Consensus staking. You can click there and you can see that you can earn rewards. You can earn, in essence, interest. And they're pitching it right here on their redesigned website. Well, Gary Gensler told us very specifically that that is a security and you cannot do that, okay? And I'm asking Paul Graywall from Coinbase, why don't the SEC rules apply to Ethereum? Why are you being sued over staking, but Ethereum can be staked at will through consensus? ETHgate is real. You know it. I know it. Gary knows it. Jay Clayton knows it. Bill Hinman knows it. Joseph Lubin knows it. We are watching an attempted monopoly creation in real time. Why won't any of these congressmen even acknowledge it? Why aren't they calling for an investigation? That includes you, Patrick McHenry, you, Warren Davidson, you, Tom Emmer, you, Senator Cruz, you, Representative Bill Huizenga. None of you have called for an investigation.
Thus, crypto entrepreneurs started offering what's called...
Now, this is the Gary Gensler staking commercial that he put out a while back, and I put in the screenshots of Consensus advertising that they are staking Ethereum on their website.
Staking as a service. No, not like the steakhouse. Basically, if you transfer your tokens to a staking as a service provider, they take control, possibly pooling your tokens with thousands or millions of others while promoting returns. But here's the rub. When a company or platform offers you these kinds of returns, whether they call their services lending, earn, rewards, APY, or staking, that relationship should come with the protections of the federal securities laws. That means you, the investor, should receive important disclosures.
I want to know why the SEC does not want to protect us from Ethereum. I want to finish up with this. I spoke to the owner of, this is called the TI project, and I just bought one of these ARC plates. I set myself up the Sum wallet, and this is one of the those. He's created this metal thing where you can put your codes to your Sum wallet. You know how we all write them on a piece of paper. This way you can put them into a metal plate, and you don't. And if you have a fire or something, you're going to still have your codes, and you're not going to lose access to your Sum wallet. I just got myself one. I'm going to put a link to this in the very top of the description. If you would like to get an ARC, it's called an ARC plate. This guy, I met him at XRP Las Vegas. He went to Georgia Tech, which is where my father went, and so I finally got on the phone with him. He's been trying to talk to me ever since XRP Las Vegas, and I've been busy. But we got together on it, and you need to go check this out. So I'll put the link up in the top of the description. And they're I guess you'd call them a sponsor. I'm an affiliate of them, but whatever you want to call it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family about the ARC plate. Thanks for listening.